thought everything would be okay.
I was terrified of walking to school alone.
They didn't even know my name, but they knew they hated me.
They call me an illegal immigrant to get back to my country.
And they physically hurt
When
me
I
and
felt shocked
my
and I couldn't defend myself.
Take a second in my shoes. In a time where differences can divide us, two youth groups in Warrington, Tags and Empower, have come together under the name Clover to tackle an issue that impacts us all, hate crime. With a focus on religion, racism, and LGBTQ+ experiences, we are ready to tell real stories and break down barriers to challenge, educate, and make change. All the stories you hear in this video are real, told by ourselves or someone else.
I was walking around school in a new place that was still most unfamiliar to me. Someone I didn't know pulled my headscarf off from behind. In the eyes of my school, removing the head cover that represents my faith was only worth the detention. I was asked question after question about it, with people I didn't know invading my privacy. It doesn't matter why someone is wearing a headscarf. Touching someone's clothes or belongings just because they are different isn't okay, and neither is no punishment for it.
A hate crime is when any criminal offence is committed and the victim or any other person believes that the crime was motivated by hostility or prejudice towards any of the 5 protected characteristics, which are race, sexual orientation, religion and belief, disability or transgender identity.
Impact of hate crime can have so much effect on people. It's not just that hurt when it happens, but it has a long-term mental health, confidence, and it affects not just the victim, but it affects families, it affects the community they live in. People become scared and anxious to go out. If somebody hits you, the pain will go away. But hate crime is one of those things, the pain doesn't go away, it's long-lasting, it stays there.
Take a second in my shoes. A trans queer teen who feels unsafe in a place full of adults, trained to help students like me. Yet I still feel I had to walk, with my pride pins on the inside of my bag, just in case the wrong person saw them. I was in year 7. I arrived at the gates when I felt a sharp kick to the back of my legs. I turned my head to see a group of year 9 boys, laughing. My trousers had ripped, showing my knees were bloody, but no teacher even asked if I was okay. My parents noticed immediately and phoned the school. No consequences were put in place for any of them, as there were no cameras. I was terrified of walking to school alone. For a while, these people made me feel uncomfortable, scared, and they physically hurt me. This is not okay.
Feeling that you belong at school is absolutely critical. Going through something like a hate crime or a hate incident can break that sort of feeling of belonging. The young person who's been the victim might start to think that others feel and think that way. They might start to disengage from school. Very first thing you need to do is sit down with the young person who has reported it to you and listen to them, make sure they report that to you in as much detail as possible. They would then report that to their designated safeguarding lead, and that leader in the school would know the thresholds for deciding whether it was a hate incident or a hate crime, and whether they would then need to involve the police or not, depending on the severity of what had happened. They were very clear. They would want to make sure they looked after the young person who'd experienced that, to make sure that they were supported.
This is Taylor's story. I'm half Thai, which makes me half Asian. I was in year 8, they were in year 11. They didn't even know my name, but they knew what they assumed about my racial heritage with just a glance. They didn't know me, but they knew they hated me. They made it impossible for me to feel safe on my own. Even though it happened in a bustling hallway, no one helped. As a 12-year-old, I was singled out by hatred. On average, once a week, I was targeted with the C-slur. That one destroyed my sense of safety. And it wasn't just one word, it happened every week. I couldn't even glance at the people making my school experience filled with hate. because acknowledging it made them hate the realization that I exist.
There are certain groups, be ethnic minorities or transgender, LGBTQ or disabled, that over the years they've had a lot of harassment, they've had a lot of attacks against them, singled out disproportionately to the rest of the population. So I think it's really important that there is a focus on them because they've suffered a lot.
With my experience of being lead worker with tags, we've had 2 hate crimes in those 10 years and 2 young people entered the building and set the fire alarms off and used homophobic language. Our young people were really quite upset and offended by that, as was I. We evacuated the building and we dealt with it in the correct manner by ringing the police. And the police did come and support the group, supported myself. The police kept us updated, which I could then update the group, and there was consequences for those 2 young people. And it was really important for our young people to understand that it had been taken seriously, they'd been listened to, and that there was consequences for that unacceptable behaviour. And the other one was a young person where, again, I witnessed some transphobic language, and they were confident enough to report it themselves online, and again, that was dealt with.
This is Fernando's story. I moved to England in 2023, and I started school nervous because I didn't speak a lot of English. I thought everything would be okay, and I would have many friends, but some people, who I thought were my friends, started insulting me because I was from another country. They call me an illegal immigrant, insulting me for not being from England. They told me to get back to my country, and I couldn't defend myself because I was struggling with English. I wish I knew there was support.
Hate crime is taken very, very seriously by the council, by the police, by the youth service. I personally know people myself who's been victim of hate crime, and they're in their late 30s and they got attacked at their teens, and it still have social anxiety. They can't go out, they can't work, they're frightened, they're looking out over their shoulders all the time. They find it very difficult to carry on with their normal life.
So there's lots of ways we can support young people, really. We're in the process of getting our young people as ambassadors in Warrington in a new project group called Clover. So the young people will be educated in how to report hate crimes. The centre that we're currently in is going to be a reporting centre, so all the staff within the building will be trained. If there is unfortunately a hate crime, then we will be able to support the person with that and report it. Obviously then we can put posters and things in the windows and make it known to the community that this is a safe space for people to come and report, which I feel quite, proud of, really.
You can report a hate crime or any crime in numerous ways. You can report over the phone via 101, our non-emergency police number. You can report online on our online reporting form. You can report via one of our third-party reporting centres where you can receive support and guidance throughout the reporting process. For any crime where the threshold for prosecution is met, the case is then sent to the Crown Prosecution Service to make a decision on if that case is going to be taken to court. The consequences of that can range from fines to community payback, suspended sentences, or time in prison if they are found guilty. If the hate element is proven, then the sentence is increased accordingly.
My hopes for the future is to talk about hate, to educate others, so your colleagues, your friends. So by talking about, talking to your youth worker, talking to your teachers, talking to the people you work with, and learning and understanding, educating each other, and hopefully we'll come to some stage in our lives that people will take it very seriously and they will be much nicer to others.
Now take a moment in our shoes. Thank goodness you can. So many shoes are now unworn, tucked away, due to hate crime. So many people like us, young, different, queer, are now no longer here. Converse, Nike, Skechers, Adidas, Crocs, Docs, old, new, scruffy, muddy, never worn, big and small, all thrown away too soon. Maybe they threw themselves away, or maybe someone else threw them away. Despite them ending in the same place, they started somewhere different. Now they are here, their laces stomped on, soles worn out, and patterns gone, lost to the boot that kicked them down and turned them away. Some shoes could have trekked to Mount Everest, and you'd never know.
You may never know their stories, their footsteps, but you know their ending. But maybe you could rewrite their ending.
Find the strength within yourself to report it. At the end of the day, there is love, support, and change for the better waiting for you on the other side.
So next time you see a pair of scuffed shoes, take a minute, even if you can only give them a wash. Maybe, just maybe, that'd be enough to keep the stitching together.